Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 Well, a lot of women in our 60 community revealed in our survey that they are over 70. I think it's a large percentage, over 50%, closer to 60. And I really was amazed at that number because, I don't think about age as much as, having that statistic in front of me. And I'm 76, so I get being 70. I understand what that transition is. And to be honest, when I started 60 12 years ago, I was 64. So, being 60 and me, being 60 plus was the logical thing to talk about. But now that we're getting older, a lot of you have been with us for, 10, 12 years and you're in your 70s now or approaching it, maybe 65, 66, and 70 is a number, it's a big number. And for me, it wasn't as dramatic as 60 because I think I talked about aging all the time. So I wanted to share with you, though, some thoughts about how one of the big things for turning 70 is having the awareness that, you've got less time in front than behind, and that's something to assimilate into your being, into your way of life on many, many levels. Now, we've talked about living a kind of authentic self at 70 and how the freedoms that come from being 70 can really be amplified. The freedom to do things that you've always wanted to do and that you've held back for whatever reasons. Freedom from family constraints that, maybe have been challenges, freedom from a marriage that you weren't happy in, but, and freedom to actually, be yourself, just be your authentic self, makeup, clothes, whatever you do. But I think there's something more to it and some more specific things that I want to share with you, things that, help you to embrace yourself in your 70s, truly, and get up in the morning and feel like, this is a good age. I can manage this. There's good opportunity here. I can get things done. And I think most importantly for this particular chat, it's about having the awareness of time. Having the awareness of time influences some other areas of your life that you need to make some decisions. And I just want to share some of the ones that came into my mind. And the first is, of course, financial freedom and empowerment. Now, as you get older, you're not working necessarily. I mean, you may have started a new business. You may have decided that, that making a bit of money in addition to your Social Security or your pension is a good thing. So you've started a little side hustle. It could be based on the knowledge that you have already in your career, like as a consultant, or maybe something new, making cakes or, taking care of dogs or whatever. There's so many different angles that you can approach. When you're 70, it's part of that being free. Passive income, of course, if you've got a book you want to write. Speaking of books, I have a copy of it. Aging Beautifully is still on, the card format has now turned into a book and it's available on Amazon. It's called Aging Beautifully. But, if you've got a book that's going to bring in maybe a little bit of passive income, not a ton, but, enough to have an extra few dollars for travel or whatever, it's really important that you think about that now. Navigating your whole picture with retirement, with benefits. Is it Social Security? Is it pension? How are you going to draw from your savings? Get some help and get it from a fiduciary advisor, not from someone that's trying to sell you an annuity or an insurance policy or whatever. I mean, sometimes that may be the right thing for you to do, and I'm not talking down those decisions. But if you want to do something, just get an advisor that's there for a couple of hours, going to go through it with you and help you to make some good, wise choices for you. You can navigate all those requirements, things with confidence. Then you feel like you've got the time ahead is organized, it's planned. Relationships and community. I think this is the time now where it's super important, not just because of the social dynamic in the world and all the things that are happening. It's really important to find that group of people who are like you. It doesn't mean you get together every day or that you're like the best buddies on the earth, but it's the thing that you have something in common. It could be a shared interest related to passion, a charity or something that you've really always wanted to dig into and make a difference with. It's important to have just people to chat with. Loneliness is a big challenge for a lot of women in our 60 and Me community. We've talked about this many times. But if you are lonely, you need to do something about it. And I mean, if you're happy being alone, and that's, you've woven yourself into a gorgeous little place, you have a happy life, you're happy to be alone, you may say that, and I'm not, arguing that's not a good thing, but most people need some help. some cuddles. Now, we have a Patreon group here at 60 and Me where we get together Monday and Wednesday. And sometimes that's enough, just getting together online. It doesn't have to be, a gathering and going to a place. You can do it from your home online. And that's what we do with Patreon. It's a support for 60 and Me, of course. But it's really, really fun. Women are traveling together now and getting to know each other, and it's really helpful. So having a community of women, use Meetup, use LinkedIn. Don't forget LinkedIn. A lot of people that you worked with are now retiring too, and they may be doing something fun and interesting. I just got to pick up a message from one of my friends. Her name's Connie Chung, and she sent me a message saying, would I like to come to one of her, she was in business with me. I mean, a very strong businesswoman, and she's now running online courses for facial exercise. Which is really, I was like, well, that's really cool, Connie. That's a great thing to move into when, as she's getting older. Very, very cool. And you can do the same. Another thing that you can do forever to calm things down, downsizing, getting rid of clutter, getting rid of all the excess stuff that you don't need anymore. And that includes people. I mean, I've said enough there about community and getting together, but do that with people that share your interests. Don't do the things with people that are hurting you or that are just not good for you. And this is where I'm going to weave in the story one more time of the book by Mel Robbins. If you haven't read it, please go and read it. My opinion. Thank you, Mel, if you're watching. I doubt she is, but anyway, if she was, she wrote a book called Let Them. And it's all about just, working on a lifestyle where you can look at people that may be drawing energy from you, that are trying to do things that you, or even people you love deeply, making choices and decisions that you think are hurting them. You can't control them anymore. Not that you ever could, but when they were younger, maybe you had some influence in making recommendations. But now it's let them. Let them do it. Let them. And it's not just let them do their thing. It's now that let you be the person that without them. Let yourself be who you want to be. Let them and let you at the same time. It's very aligned with the Stoic philosophy of only trying to control the things that you can control, like your thoughts, your behaviors, your emotions, your responses, but not you can't control their actions, their thoughts, their decisions, their actions. It's really, really powerful. And I think when you're 70, what weaves it along into that really beautifully is let them go so you can let go of the regrets, the worries, the responsibilities, the fears, the shame, whatever it might be that you're holding on to. Let it go and say goodbye to it. Bye. Write a letter to it, post it to yourself. But don't hold on to it anymore. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. What's the point? What's the point of holding on? There isn't any. It's done. Whatever mistakes you made, whatever regrets you've got, whatever decisions that went sideways. Hey, it was part of life's journey. And a very good friend of mine did a post recently on it was just a recording about the fact that we're all in recovery all our lives. That we're all in recovery from something or another, some pain, some rejection, some loss, and we're recovering. And that's our job as we get into our 70s, 60s and 70s, 50s, any age, is to let the harmful things go and then to work on your own final release. And as you get older, as I've talked about, that time starts to shorten. So do it now. Do celebrations of those milestones as you achieve, whether it's maybe stopping to drink, stopping drinking, or stopping whatever else you're doing that is habitually hurting you. Celebrate it when you get to the point where you've got some recognition. And I love when people recognize on various social media channels, even Facebook and others. Today I'm 2 years clean, 2 years free of this, and 5 years free, 22 years free of this. And it's just like every year is a marker. And I think that's just such a powerful thing. So plan a meaningful 70-year-old birthday if you haven't done it, Do something fun. Think about things that are important to you, as I mentioned earlier. My last note was here, giving back and making an impact. If you want to do something to change the world that you just maybe didn't have the time to focus on when you were younger, maybe had families and responsibilities, this may be the time to do it. And, volunteer work or activism are both ways to express who you truly are. Back to what I said at the very beginning, the freedom when you're 70 to just be free of what other people expect, and free of any stereotypes, aging or otherwise. Managing loss and change. Of course, I made a note here, but you've got to get plenty of experience of loss by the time you're 70, and just it never gets easy. It never that stops hurting. But you can do it. You can manage it. And we're here for you. 60andMe is here to support you. Take really good care in your 70s, everyone. If you're in your 60s, it's going to be fun getting there. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You can just be like us, 70-year-old shining in the world. So lots and lots of love to you all, whatever age you are. Thank you for being here. Take good care of yourselves. Bye for now.